As CBS looks to reshape its flagship evening news program to better compete in an increasingly digital and competitive media landscape, the choice of Norah O'Donnell's successor is seen as crucial not only for the network but also for the larger media landscape. When Norah O'Donnell gave an emotional farewell as the anchor of CBS Evening News, viewers were left with a bold question: who would take over as the anchor of one of the most iconic newscasts in American history? The field of broadcast journalism. Many people are questioning who has the journalistic gravitas after the decision, which has sparked interest and conjecture. Let's examine the possible applicants, the criteria that influence CBS's choice, and what the future may hold for CBS Evening News as it ushers in a new era. The position requires charisma and the capacity to engage audiences. Due to CBS's Farmers Insurance Open Friday, Norah O'Donnell resigned as anchor of CBS Evening News on Thursday, January 23, one day earlier than originally intended. Relative unknowns per TV listings in the evening. Norah O'Donnell will be replaced by John Dickerson and Morris Dubois. In addition to co-hosting the Political Gaffe, Fist, and Whistle Stop podcasts and anchoring the Daily Report, John Dickerson also broadcasts the Navel Gazing podcast. Dickerson is a former Face the Nation host and co-host of CBS This Morning from January 2018 to May 2019. D-Rater, as well as on the CBS News app at 10 p.m. Journalist Damon C. Williams, who is headquartered in Philadelphia, covers popular subjects in the Mid-Atlantic region. Before we look at potential replacements, we examine the legacy of CBS Evening News. It's critical to recognize the seriousness of the role that Norah O'Donnell is leading behind. Anchoring CBS Evening News is not just another job, it's a role rich in prestige and history. Some of the most illustrious figures in broadcast journalism, such as Walter Cronkite, Dan Rather, and KDCCK, have all held that position. Each brought an own style to the position, but they all had the same goal: to provide the day's news with honesty, integrity, and reliability for decades. The phrase, which is Cron's well-known sign-off that symbolized the program's authority in American homes, was synonymous with CBS Evening News. However, the format has faced challenges in recent years due to the emergence of cable news pickle platforms and changing viewer habits. Despite these challenges, the anchor of CBS Evening News continues to be a symbol of journalistic excellence, which makes the choice of Norah O'Donnell's replacement even more crucial and explains why her departure is significant. With her resignation, Norah O'Donnell ends a 5-year term in which she oversaw some of the decade's most important events, including the COVID-19 epidemic and the 2020 presidential election. Her tenure at the top was distinguished by her dedication to investigative journalism, in-depth reporting, and a focus on subjects that were frequently disregarded. Nevertheless, O'Donnell's departure also coincides with the show's difficulties include lower ratings than rivals like ABC, World News, and NBC Nightly News, with Lester Holt. Even though O'Donnell's reporting was well regarded, the network found it difficult to close the numbers for Tonight with David Muir. The gap has led to rumors that CBS may seek a new anchor to revitalize the show. Selecting the next anchor of CBS Evening News is a difficult assignment. The network must take into account a number of factors to make sure the show stays competitive and relevant. These are some important factors that are probably influencing CBS's choice in a media landscape that is changing quickly. Credibility of journalists. Along with having journalistic skills, the new anchor must be someone viewers can trust. They must be able to connect with audiences on a personal level and have a track record of providing accurate, unbiased news. This combination of warmth and authority is essential for developing a devoted audience and maintaining adaptability to digital trends. More people are getting their news online. As media companies work towards greater diversity, CBS needs an anchor who can move fluidly between traditional broadcasts and digital channels like social media and streaming services. While CBS might choose a new face, they might give preference to applicants who reflect a range of backgrounds, experiences, and gravitas. The part may require a professional with years of experience, especially in a time when while CBS has not yet announced Norah O'Donnell's replacement, the media is closely examining the leading candidates. A number of names have surfaced as formidable competitors. Here's a more detailed look at the journalists that are allegedly in the running. Duncan Wanjera, as a CBS News correspondent, Jika Duncan has emerged as one of the network's emerging stars, renowned for her daring reporting and in-depth storytelling. Duncan received widespread recognition for her coverage of high-profile issues, such as the Harvey Weinstein trial and the strength of the January 6 Capitol riot. Duncan is a good candidate because of her on-the-ground reporting and ability to tackle difficult subjects. She has already gained the respect and trust of her peers and viewers, which could help her in the anchor desk challenges. In contrast to some of her rivals, Duncan has less experience anchoring alone. Co-host of CBS Mornings, Tony Dokoupil. Tony Dokoupil is well known for being personable, perceptive, and adaptable. His capacity to engage audiences has made him a favorite among a demographic of younger viewers. CBS is keen to identify strengths. His expertise with morning news shows offers him a broad appeal, but shifting from the lighter tone of morning news to the seriousness of evening news may take some adjustments. Dup's conversational approach and dependability might provide new vigor to CBS Evening News. 3. Brennan. Margaret, one of CBS's most seasoned journalists. Margaret Brennan, moderator of Face the Nation, is renowned for her sharp interviews with foreign leaders and policymakers. Brennan would contribute unmatched experience to the anchor role's advantages. Brennan is a perfect fit for the anchor chair because of her extensive understanding of politics and foreign affairs, and her background in high-stakes interviews fits the requirements of the position. Brennan's connection to political programs on Sunday mornings may not apply to the larger audience of Garrett is the chief Washington correspondent for CBS's evening newscast. A mainstay of political journalism, Major Garrett has been there for his coverage of the White House and Capitol Hill throughout the years has garnered him a great deal of respect. Garrett is a secure candidate for the anchor role because to his gravitas and expertise, his connection with CBS's audience is another, while respected, advantage. Challenges for younger viewers or those seeking a more dynamic on-air presence. Garrett's manner might not be appealing. 5. Jamie Yakas is a rising CBS star. Jamie Yakas has established herself as a well-known correspondent and presenter, thanks to her vivacious reporting and friendly character have won her over the audience. Yakas is a new, contemporary voice that might appeal to younger audiences. Her ability to adapt to a variety of story types is another strength, but as a relative newcomer to the anchor chair, she may encounter suspicion about her regardless of who eventually takes over. CBS Evening News's future depends on its readiness for such a prominent role. At a crossroads, CBS Evening News needs to not just choose a new anchor, but also adjust to the changing methods via which individuals get their news. These are some crucial tactics that CBS could use to guarantee the program's success when making investments in digital platforms. CBS may add more streaming content. By updating the format and adding more interactive elements, CBS News Streaming Network hopes to appeal to younger consumers who prefer on-demand programming. Tools for audience participation and data visualizations could give the show a more contemporary vibe. Increasing the scope of investigative reporting and intensifying it could set CBS Evening News apart from competition and uphold its reputation for frank reporting and diversity in storytelling by showcasing marginalized voices and narratives, which could increase the program's attractiveness and better represent the audience's diversity. A new chapter begins as an era comes to an end. Norah O'Donnell's exit from CBS Evening News signifies the end of one era and the start of a new one for the network. Although her successor has not yet been announced, the choice will surely influence the course of the show for years to come as CBS handles this change. One thing is certain. In a world where people place a high value on journalism, the role of the evening news anchor is still crucial. Whoever takes over as anchor will not only carry on the tradition of CBS Evening News, but also be responsible for guiding viewers through a constantly shifting news landscape. In the upcoming weeks, all eyes will be on CBS as the network reveals its plans for the future of CBS Evening News.